Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the new selection pack. We got one, two, three new secret packs here, right? And these new secret packs, all of their new cards are in the selection pack, so don't really have to take a look at those. So Nightmare Arrivals, this introduces the new illusion type monsters. We also get Altergeist, Adminia, and some Altergeist support, and Vita Keller Canum, which I have no idea what that's about because to me it looks like a really bad card, and then Rescue Ace, Brilliant Mekanko get some new cards as well. I don't know how many new cards Mekanko actually gets though. Let's take a look. So we have Altergeist Adminia. If this card is link summoned, you instead one Altergeist trap directly from your deck. Once, while this card is face up on your field during the main phase, quick effect, you instead one card you control to the graveyard, then take one effect monster your opponent controls, take control of that target, and if you do, it is also treated as an Altergeist monster. You can only use each effect of Altergeist Adminia once per turn. So this effect, honestly, fairly strong. So it's send one card you control to the graveyard, but I believe that combos well with, I believe, spoofing. Shuffle one Altergeist card from your hand, face of your built-in deck. One Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah. So this sends for cost, I believe, right? Send one card control to the graveyard, then target one effect once your opponent controls. Yeah, that's cost. So the play is that you can just send whatever you realistically want. It doesn't super matter. You can just send it if you summon something off of Multi-Faker, like example, not that one. Like Fukuri, that would work. And then you'd be able to add back Pukri later probably. So just something like that. It has to be a card you control though, so if they don't control any cards, they can't really use the effect of Adminia, but technically, if you can just set a back row, you would technically be able to trigger this. Let's see, does this do anything? You bench this card from your graveyard and take one Multi-Guise Trap in your graveyard to add to your hand. So this seems like fairly efficient. I don't know how many of these have graveyard effects right now. But yeah, this is a forever kind of take, you know? So when your opponent takes that monster, you're not getting it back. And it's also treated as an Altergeist monster, so they can link summon using it because all of the link monsters require Altergeist monsters. So that's also a thing, and what they take is not negated. So let's just say, for example, they take Cheese Out, it is now their Cheese Out. If they take Chenging, it is now their Chenging. If a card gets banished, it will trigger your used to be Chenging, I suppose. And then we have Evolsaur Lars here. While this card has material, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can detach two materials from this card, or just one material. If all of this card's materials are reptiles and or dinosaurs, then target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. So if you were to make this with reptile and or dinosaurs, then this is two Omni negates, and it is not once per chain or anything like that, so you just use them, right? And the thing about Evolsaur Lars is there's also another Evolsaur or whatever that allows you to attach to Evolsaur Lars two materials, I believe, right? So the level 1 Evolsaur Mega Trilla. So the graveyard effect here. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Dragon XYZ monster you control with no material. Attach up to two reptile and or dinosaur monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard to that monster's material. So you can't do this technically immediately because, you know, it would have material if you XYZ summon this, but If it had no material, then that's two more Omni negates, essentially, which is fairly strong in its own way. And then let's see, moving on, we have Eperly Noir. Once per turn, you can discard one card, then target one card your opponent controls, or up to two if this card has Fairly Sleepy Memory as material. Return that card or cards to the hand. So thrice per turn, when you activate a Pearly Quick Play spell card, quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this card as material, then you can set one Pearly Trap directly from your deck. So this effect noticeably works fairly well, I suppose, because you can use it to search Pearly Yeep and Pearly Shirley. So what Pearly Shirley does here is you can target a Pearly XYZ monster you control, then you special summon a Pearly monster from your deck, and then that can be used to rank up into any Pearly XYZ monster, but it has to be the same rank and a different attribute. So pretty much any other Pearly, right? Aside from itself. And then you are allowed to attach whatever quick play that is mentioned on the monster. The name is really quick play spell attached to the targeted monster, so pretty interesting, I guess, to an extent. This will boost the consistency back up. I'm not really sure why the consistency was super gutted because Delicious was put to 1, but alright. Early is now somewhat playable again, so the diversity for like the decks you see might be going up, like since the release of these new cards, like just a little bit, because I was mostly seeing like Labyrinth, Stun, and then Snake Eye. But since I'm in Master 1, like I also see like tier limits sometimes because some people are actually just playing for fun because it's something you can do. But anyways, yeah. This allows so if you can get to Eperly Noir, this allows for easy access to Pearly Shirley and Pearly Yeep fairly easily, right? And the thing about this is that whenever you activate a Pearly Quick Play spell card, you can attach that card on the field to this card as material, then you can set one Pearly Trap directly from your deck. So this effect is only able to search Pearly Yeep and Pearly Shirley despite being activatable like 3 times. Just checking, is there hard once per turn on Pearly Shirley? Surprisingly, no. How about Pearly Yeep? Pearly Yeep, you can only activate one Pearly Yeep per turn. So Pearly Shirley is not hard once per turn. I suppose good to know. But the thing about this, I suppose, is that this also more consistently allows you to go into sleepy memory draws. So let's say we have 2 sleepy memories. This can get a little degenerate. So I have a sleepy memory, so we'll use this to, I don't know, probably summon up early or something. And then we can like Noir effect, attach it after like summoning a Noir as well, right? So if we do this, then that'll allow me to search like really Shirley, and then I can use the effect to summon again, probably like another Pearly, and then I'll make like rank 1, like just hard make it. That should be fine. And if we hit anything off of the Pearly, it doesn't super matter. But then, anyways, attach whatever card that is. So it could be Happy Memory, doesn't super matter. And then we can set like really Shirley if we have another really Shirley again, I suppose. And there's also the option that we just randomly hit straight Pearly Street, but of course, this makes it much more consistent. So let's say like, I think that's the average luck to honestly get really sleepy memory attached to Noir. So then we can do Noir, draw twice, and then we can do Curly Yeep on top of Noir, and then all of a sudden we draw two more times. So we're looking at easy draw 4, easy draw 6. Like, just not that difficult in my opinion. And that is a little bit disgusting. Aside from that, I don't have anything like super major to say. There's this effect as well, I guess. I would say it exists. Once per turn, you discard one card, then target one card your opponent controls, or up to two if this card has Pearly Sleepy Memory as material. Return that card or cards to the hand. And that's just an effect that exists, I guess. It's soft once per turn. Are these all soft once per turns? Seems so. Moving on, we have Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. So this requires any beast monster plus one fiend monster, so are you telling me I can play this with Unchained? This card's name becomes Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, while on the field or in the graveyard, you can only use each of the following effects of Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, once per turn if this card is fusion summoned. You can activate this effect, send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard during the end phase of its turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect. Banish this card from your graveyard, then target one beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Well, this randomly does a hand loop. You might summon this multiple times, I suppose, then. Nothing like super outstanding because, as I mentioned in like a previous video, any kind of hand looping that sends to the graveyard isn't that effective against Snake Eye. It's like whatever. So let's say you send Wanted to the graveyard, they'll just draw like later anyways off of that Wanted now. So advantage wise, it didn't really get you anything. Anyways, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one level 4 beast monster and or one Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for fusion monsters, so if fusion locks you, okay, good to know. This card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon. You can target one illusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And you can only use each effect of Big Wing Baphomet once per turn. So the noticeable thing about this effect is this is a fiend, not an illusion, and so far nothing here requires an illusion monster, but alright. And let's see, add one level 4 beast monster and or one Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. So it does lock you here, but you can add any level 4 beast monster that you want. Like, I know that Fractal is specifically a beast warrior, but let's pretend it's a beast for a second. You could add Fractal to your hand off of this. Weird. And then this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion summon. Target a illusion monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. So doesn't seem that interesting yet because this is a level 5 monster, so you can't normal summon this. So it's kind of like looks a little garnety, which is weird, but okay. Mirror Sword Knight. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. Weird effect. You can only use each of the following effects of Mirror Sword Knight once per turn. Quick effect. You attribute this card, special summon one monster from your deck that mentions Chimera Fusion. Except for Mirror Sword Knight. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect while you control a Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. Quick effect. You can banish this card from your field or graveyard and negate that effect. Wait, what? Oh, those effects are hard once per turn. Okay. Good to know. So this just cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay. And then it can also summon Winged Baphomet, which then allows you to add Chimera Fusion. We have yet to see Chimera Fusion, but okay. Then we have Rescue Ace Preventer here. You can banish one Rescue Ace card from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand if you control another Rescue Ace monster. Quick effect. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position. That is not a forever change to a face down defense position, but okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Rescue Ace monsters, except the level 8 monster, special summon it. Okay. So the interesting thing about this is you can banish a rescue ace card from your graveyard. So if it is a monster that you banished, then this gets sent. That monster can be special summoned. So that is a little neat, I suppose. The other thing about this, I believe, is that because this card exists now, there is a turn 0 play that Rescue Ace can do. It still requires like a decent amount of cards, I believe. Like you have to open like certain cards. And then let's see. If I can target one. Yeah, if you control another Rescue Ace monster, your opponent controls, yeah, change it to base and defense position. So you'd be able to do that on your opponent's first turn. Like, I think that's not necessarily super easy to do, but it gives you something to do since you can summon a bunch of guys on your opponent's turn. So and now you have a worthwhile target, I suppose. Nightmare Magician. Is this card even good? If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. So, it, well, these guys can't destroy monsters by battle, but they can't be destroyed by battle either. That's kind of interesting, I guess. Is that just an effect of illusion monsters or something? At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can take control of that opponent's monster. Oh, that changes things. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if another monster attacks you, can destroy one card on the field. Oh, that effect's actually not that bad. Seems like an alright card, actually. And you can technically summon this off of Baphomet if it is in the graveyard, right? Yeah, okay. Then we have Veta Calercanum. Once per chain, if a monster is destroyed, place 3 counters on this card. This card's pendulum scale is increased by the number of counters on it. You can remove 12 counters from this card, special summon it. Wait a second. There's no cap on this. So, hear me out. This isn't useful by any means, but you could have a scale 9,999, like, relatively easily with this. Would it be efficient? Would it do anything for you? Maybe not, but can you? The answer to that, yes. Okay, and then the effect here cannot be normal summon slash set, must be special summon by its own pendulum effect. You can only special summon Veta Calercanum or Veta Calercard or Calercanums once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, except during the damage step, you can banish 12 cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard face down. It becomes the end phase of this turn. Uh, okay, I guess. Once per turn during your standby phase, return this card to the hand, then you can special summon one of your Vita monsters that's banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. So this is not that unreasonable, except I don't know how exactly you got this card, but just saying, like, Electromagnet can loop itself, like, probably, like, 3 times, I think? 3 or 4. So this pretty much allows you to just set up Keller Cannon with just Electromite. So the ability to summon this is not like that difficult. And then here, once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, except during the damage step. So if your opponent just summons from the extra deck, you essentially end the turn. Not really sure if you can like get that many cards easily enough without this being like super annoying, but it seems closer to a meme card than like a thing you would actually play. This card just seems like a little bit too much of win more, unless this becomes like accessible somehow, like just more accessible, like as something you can do mid combo to an existing combo already. I don't think there's like that much of a point of playing this. If it is searchable and all that, then maybe. Special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your deck in defense position, then tribute one Rescue Ace monster from your hand or field during your main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Rescue Ace trap in your graveyard. Set it. You can only use each effect of emergency once per turn. Quick effect. Okay. So and special summon, and then it's mandatory to tribute a rescue waste monster from your hand or field. Okay. And then during your main phase, you banish this. Okay, rescue waste trap in your graveyard, set it. That seems like it would work really well with Snake Eye because you have like the Evolsaur and stuff, which can send. And then if you send a rescue waste trap, like they would be kind of dead in hand, and you would just set them later, I guess. So I guess there's decent synergy here. Okay, fusion armament. Reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck and special summon one of the fusion materials whose name is mentioned on that monster from your extra deck or graveyard, but until the end of your opponent's turn, it cannot attack, and its effects, if any, are negated. You can only activate one fusion armament per turn. So this card seems to be literally worthless because we have two cards that already exist. A Hero Lives, and then we have fusion deployment. So why do we need armament at all? They're summoned negated, so unless you resummon them, you can't activate their effects. Not sure if that's relevant or not. The only advantage up on like fusion deployment this has is that it doesn't lock you. That's about it. So for the majority of decks, this will be a pretty useless card. If you were to be playing Manadium, this is another UR you might be kind of somewhat forced to play, which is dumb. And this is of course hard once per turn, so another reason I would argue this is specifically worse than a Hero Lives anyways, but alright, moving on. Mikanku Spirit Walk. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, equip that face-up monster to one Mikanku monster you control as an equipped spell, then if a ritual monster card is on the field, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. For each equipped spell you control, you banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one of your Mikanku monsters that is banished. Or in your hand, you can only use each effective Mikanku Spirit Walk once per turn, so that's an annoying form of removal. Not much else to say. It is also a UR, for whatever reason. Epic. But this is probably only a one-up, so whatever, I guess. And that's not a new card. Okay. Moving along. Rhinoceros Giga Cannon. Very cool name. Generic. 4. When your dinosaur monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach one material from this card and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Then this card gains 1,000 attack. If this XYZ summon card is destroyed, you target one card on the field destroyed. And if you inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Random rank 4 burn card. But it has to destroy by battle to do the burn effect, so just in general, I don't think it's very good. Okay. And then we have Ursartic Polar Star. Cannot be synchro summon, must be special summon from your extra deck by sending 2 monsters you control with a level difference of 1 to the graveyard. 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. Contribute 1 level 8 Ursartic monster from your hand or field, and this card special summon 1 level 7 Ursartic synchro monster from your extra deck. Summoning conditions, and if you do, it gains this effect. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with a level that were special summoned from the extra deck. So if you pair this with Resurtic Serpentrion, I think, right? This has the effect of negate the effects of face-up monsters without a level that was special summoned from the extra deck. So if you combine this effect with this effect, then your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters that are special summoned from the extra deck, right? And this one specifically negates them from just the extra deck. And then this one negates your opponent's here. So this actually is two-sided. This is not. But also, just saying, I know something interesting. The condition isn't that hard to meet, right? You need to send 2 monsters you control with a level difference of 1, and one has to be a tuner, and one has to be a non-tuner. So, what if we use Snake Eye to make a level 2 uh, non-tuner, and then we just summon back Jet 1, 2, Ursartic Polar Star, special summon Serpentrion. Well, that's just something you could do. We'll just let that linger, I guess. Chimera the Illusion Beast requires Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast plus a Illusion Monster. So Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast was not this card. That's King of the Phantom Beast. Okay. And this is Chimera the Illusion Beast, so different card. This card's name becomes Chimera the Flying Beast. Never mind. It is Chimera the Flying Beast. Okay. This card's name becomes Chimera the Flying Beast while on the field or in the graveyard. This card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials used for it. So that effect doesn't super matter, I guess. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. At the end of the turn step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can change that opponent's monster's attack to 0, also negate its effects. So this is an interesting form of removal. So when does this negate happens? At the English. At the end of the damage step is when it happens. That's when the negate happens, okay. So to an extent a little worse than, for example, Scareclaw Cash. Like, Scarecrow Cash is immediately when it attacks, so alright. Horned Saurus. Kaita Top Terra, +1 dinosaur or dragon monster. This card can attack directly. The turn is special summoned. You can only use each of the following effects of Horned Saurus once per turn. This card is fusion summon. You can place one field spell from your deck or graveyard face up in your field zone. Oh no. That effect's always never used for anything degenerate, right, guys? Haha. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves normal summon one dinosaur or dragon monster. At least the effects are hard once per turn, I guess, if that means anything. Hey, Top Terra, what is this? If your opponent controls 2 or more face-up monsters except for wind monsters, those monsters cannot target this card for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects of Kaitop Terra once per turn. During your main phase, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to hand. If this card is banished, you can special summon it. Then you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. It seems like relatively decent. Not 100% sure what play you do with this, but whatever. Berthamet, the mythical king of Phantom Beasts. This is also Chimera, the flying mythical beast. Okay. So it requires 2 monsters with different types. And they have to be Beast Fiend or Illusion, I think. I haven't seen this kind of condition before. This card's name becomes Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast while in the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Berthamet, the Mythical King of Phantom Beasts, once per turn. If this card is Fusion Summon, you can send 1 Beast Fiend or Illusion monster from your deck to your graveyard during your opponent's turn. Quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Beast Fiend or Illusion monsters, except for Berthamet, Mythical King of Phantom Beasts, special summon it. So was this effect on special summon? Fusion summon. Not 100% sure what you're trying to trigger here. Is this effect triggers from the graveyard as well? Is this hard once per turn? Yes. But would send itself instead of being banished or what? Banished from field or graveyard. No, so that doesn't matter. Does this do anything on special summon? No. Okay. Confusing. This doesn't do anything either, right? No? Beast Fiend or Illusion monsters. This is specifically a banished one. Yeah, not really sure about this, but okay, I guess. Moving on, I guess we have Gaia Prominence, the Fierce Force. When your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard quick effect, you can discard 1 monster, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. And this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by value and target 1 fire monster and graveyard special summon it. You can only use each effect of Gaia Prominence, the Fierce Force, once per turn. This requires Gaia Blaze, the Force of the Sun, +1 face of monster you control. Okay, so what's Gaia Blaze, the Force of the Sun? This generic level 7 synchro. This attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle. It can make a second attack in a row once per turn. At the end of the battle phase, you can target fire monsters in your graveyard up to the number of monsters this card destroyed by battle this turn. Add them to your hand. So Okay. Not 100% sure what the plan for this is, but alright. Arahime the Manifested Mikanko. You can control summon this card with Mikanko Kagura, so it's just as that because of crap, I guess. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. If you have this card in your hand or graveyard and another Mikanko card in your graveyard, you can target one face of monster and field equip this card to it as an equipped spell. You can only use this effective Arahime the Manifested Mikanko once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can return this card and the equipped monster to the hand. I don't get the point of this card. Seems fairly pointless. I don't think this adds anything to the Mikako strategy, but I mean, options are options, I suppose. Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one level 5 Fiend monster or one Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. This card is sent to the graveyard as material for a fusion. Summon, you can add one illusion monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws once per turn, so seems pretty good, I guess. Cornfield Kodal. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by the battle. You can only use each of the following effects of Cornfield Kodal once per turn. You can discard this card, add one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. This mentions Chimera Fusion, just for example, so okay. Except for itself, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control while you control Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card white. That is targeted negate. Okay, I guess. Then Evolsaur Laios. This card is normal special summon you set one of Evolutionary Bridge or Evo Singularity directly from your deck during your main phase. If you control this card that was normal summoned or special summoned by the effect of a fire monster, you can send one Fire Reptile or Dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can make two monsters on the field become the same type and level as that monster sent to the graveyard. Only use each effect of Evolsaur Laios once per turn. So this can send Misk to graveyard, and that allows for some combos. What I know. Ultimate Bright Knight or Sartron Alpha. Ooh, new card. Cannot be normal summon slash set, must be special summoned by a card effect. If you control an Ursartic or Drytron monster, except for Ultimate Bright Knight or Sartron Alpha, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add one Ursartic or Drytron spell trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, so it doesn't have the Drytron restriction on it. Very cool. So then you can add either Ursartic or Drytron spell trap from your deck to your hand. So this is just overall like just decent support for both Ursartic and Drytron. Interesting. Thing. Okay, so yeah, this is just a new card. Okay. Then we have new card, Visus Samsara. This card's name becomes Visus Starfrost while on the field or in the graveyard. You can target any number of your Visus monsters that are vanished in your graveyard and or on your field, shuffle those Visus monsters into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do that, gains 400 attack for each monster you shuffled with a different original name. You can only use this effective Visus Samsara once per turn. If this card you control would be used as synchro material, and treat it as a non-tuner. So if you synchro summon with this can be a tuner or a non-tuner, essentially. Weird. Chimera Fusion. During the main phase, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a beast or fiend monster. During your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you have a Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast on your field or in your graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. Add this card to your hand, and then you'd be able to set it to do another fusion summon, I guess. Banish this card, and if you do, special summon both one Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, and one Perfumet from your deck and or graveyard. Not really sure about the combos for this, but this is a lot of, like, advantage that one card builds in the same way like Branded Fusion kind of works. Okay, I guess. This specifically summons a Berthomet, and Gazelle, the king of mythical beasts. So none of these are Gazelle. Gazelle is this one. I'm not 100% sure if there's anything else that's kind of named Gazelle. But you can summon both of these, and then you'd be able to presumably fusion summon with them afterwards. Okay. You can only use this effect of Chimera Fusion once per turn, so this effect to fusion summon is not once per turn either. So just for example, fusion summon, add back to hand, fusion summon again. Alright. Realm Elegy. Add one Vita monster from your deck to your hand. If a face-up tuner you control is destroyed by Valor card effect while Feast of Starfrost is on the field. This card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one of those destroyed monsters added to your hand. Not really sure if this helps you. I don't remember. Like, this feels like maybe a little bit too garnety, but we'll see, I guess. Target one monster you control and one effect monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster you control, and if you do, negate that opponent's monster's effects until the end of this turn. Then if Ice of Starfrost is on the field, you can destroy that targeted monster. During your main phase, if a Vita monster card is on the field. Wait, what? So confused. During your main phase, if a Vita monster card is on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy one monster you control. You can only use each effective from LG once per turn. Oh, so it's optional to destroy. Okay, that's fine then. Ages of Star and Frost. If a monster or monsters you control was destroyed by your spell effect or your bones card effect that's sent to the graveyard this turn, you can conduct your next battle phase twice. Up. Ah. I, no comment. If a monster you control is shuffled into the deck or returned to the extra deck face down, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect of Age of Stars and Frost once per turn. So this can be your spell effect or your bones card effect. And it has to be the current turn. Then this is your next battle phase. This is randomly generic and kind of weird, but okay. Altergeist Prime Banshee is not a new card, right? Yep. Then this is new. Double-headed Dino King Rex. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon double-headed Dino King Rex once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one monster in the field with less attack than the total attack of all dinosaur monsters you control. Destroy it. You can only use this effect of double-headed Dino King Rex once per turn. So this is an optional effect. And it doesn't seem that useful. You would need to have something with less attack than this, which 1.6k isn't that much. So okay, Mighty Dino King Rex. If this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can make a second attack during the spell phase once per turn. If you control this card that was not summoned this turn, you can target up to 2 monsters your opponent controls, destroy them. Okay. Altergeist Malwisp. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Altergeist monster in your graveyard except for Altergeist Malwisp, special summon it in defense position, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate its effects. You can only use each effect of Altergeist Malwisp once per turn. Not being able to activate the guy you summon kinda sucks, but this card just builds a lot of advantage, so still a pretty good card and helps you with your link summoning, like a lot. So I believe, let's see. This can also get you some material because there are some Altergeist monsters that when you summon them, they have like a graveyard effect, like when they are sent to the graveyard. So they can like search stuff or like do some other things. So then you could also shuffle back a Malwisp and grab like Multi-Faker and stuff. So uh, I'm not 100% sure where this goes, but whatever. Jurassic Power. All dinosaur monsters you control gain 300 attack. You can normal summon a level 5 or higher dinosaur monster without tributing. You can send one dinosaur monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Add one dinosaur monster with 1200 defense from your deck to your hand. So these guys. And some other targets, which I don't know right now. Okay. Luca Samsara. Banish one face-up Ice Starfrost from your monster zone until the end phase. Special summon one heart monster with 3000 attack from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Oh. But it can only activate its effects once while face up on the field. Also banish it face down during the end phase. Your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard. Except during the damage step, you can add this card to your hand. Wait. Banish it face down during the end phase. I'm not sure if there's any super disgusting way to use this, but Kaleido Art 3k 3k. That's not summonable. A Manadium Time Heart. Kashtira Arise Heart. Scareclaw Try Heart. So you'd summon and kind of cheat out one of these three. Intriguing. But they're not properly summoned, right? Yeah. Banish it face down during the end phase. So these two, technically, if you flip them like face down and then back face up, I believe that might allow you to keep them. Aside from that, yeah, I don't really know about this card. But this does trigger on special summon, I believe, right? This card is special summoned. Yep, that triggers the effect to shuffle. This guy will have no material, but macro effect, you know? And then this one genuinely does nothing. And then this guy is kind of a Tower Z kind of guy, so he also does nothing. It's just unaffected by like cards in defense position. Nothing else. So that doesn't seem to do anything. Altergeist, Paratrader. This card can attack directly. You can only use each of the following effects of Altergeist Paratrader once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can draw one card. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one Altergeist card from your hand, deck, or face a field to the graveyard, except for Altergeist Paratrader. I believe this is useful because this can send the guy that helps you link summon, but there is no like link 1 with this, so not really sure point of this card completely. Evolsaur Bolus. Well, actually, wait. Send one Altergeist card from your hand, deck, or face a field to the graveyard. Wait, do these guys trigger? This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. No. Yeah, no. Then we have... I think it's just Senpokuri, really, right? No? Well, this is just Altergeist card, right? So you can send spells or traps, technically. So like this one, for example, allows you to add a Geist trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. I'm not sure about the relevance of this, though, honestly. If a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you attribute one reptile or dinosaur monster you control instead. You can only use each of the following effects of Evolsaur Flawless once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one Evolsaur monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position. During your main phase, you can set one Evo Force or Evo Instant directly from your deck. I'll be real, I don't super care about Evolsaur, but it's cool that they're getting support, I guess. Altergeist. Revitalization. Target one Altergeist Link monster in your graveyard. Special summon. You banish this card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summon one Altergeist monster. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. Weird, I guess, but looks playable enough. Okay. Really Shirley, and then we have Sharp Sarga. If Ice Starfrost is on the field, target one effect monster on the field, shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do, during the end phase of this turn, its owner can add one monster from their deck to the hand with a different type and a level lower than the level rank link rating of that monster. If a Vita monster is special summoned while this card is in your graveyard, except during the turn step, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effective Sharp's target once per turn. So I can give you a great reason to, like, never play this card. So, you need Vice's Starfrost on your field. Okay, that's maybe not the worst thing. Target one effect monster on the field, shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do during the end phase of this turn, the owner can add one monster from their deck to the hand with a different type and a level lower than the level rank link rating of that monster. So, yo, what level is Maxi? And do you think it's the same type as what your opponent's playing? No? Hmm, intriguing. How about Ash Blossom Joe Spring? Yeah. There's also Effect Failure. And depending on exactly what your opponent's playing, could get worse. But on the bright side, if you are against Snake Eye specifically, if you target Snake Eye Ash and you return it, then they can't add anything because there's no level lower than 1. But just in long drawn out games, that's the most negative part, of course. So yeah, if a Veto monster is special summoned while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. So it's kind of recyclable, which is cool. A lot of those cards are. You use them all together, maybe it'll be doing something. Not really sure though. I believe this is actually searchable off of like Amritara though, right? Add one spell trap that mentions Beast of Starfrost. And its name is also Beast of Starfrost. Epic. So I don't know. Probably not something you'll see that often, like just a lot of these cards just don't seem that good to me. But yeah. That was essentially all of the newly added cards. And see, this is like really Melfi. This is Mikanko with, what is this? Guardian? Mikanko Guardian. Okay. And then this is like Machina Rescue Ace, right? Pretty interesting combinations here, I suppose, these secret packs, but whatever. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.